This is part 2 of how I got the T800 head to move. It uses code within an Arduino Nano to drive pin 9, and that's connected to the white cable on the servo, and it drives the servo. This is the code which I've uploaded to the comments on my previous page. You'll notice that the only problem is that when I try and upload text, YouTube do not allow these little brackets. So these angle brackets here of less than and this little angle bracket here greater than, so this one pointing to the right and this one pointing to the left, are not allowed as text characters in YouTube. When I try to put those up, it will not allow me. So you'll see you will need to add these brackets at the front and this little bracket at the end. And this also means that where I've got this loop here, which says while I is less than 20, it hasn't been able to put in, I haven't been able to put in that less than bracket, or that little angle bracket pointing to the left. I've put in the letters less, L-E-S-S, because again, YouTube does not allow me to put in that actual little character. So you need to replace less, Reverend less, with that little angle bracket pointing to the left. I'll go through the rest of the code because it's similarly where it then goes greater than. So here, I've had to put greater than. You need to, or greater. You'll need to replace that angle bracket or that word greater with that little angle bracket. And again with this one here, which pointing here to the left, I've had to put less and then the equal sign. So you need to replace that to the code. So although you've maybe pasted the code in, you need to change that because again, YouTube did not allow me to upload those. I'll run through the code in a little second. You can see all the other ones here. Or again that one and this one here. So you will need to replace those to get the code to actually work. If you leave the less that and the greater, it won't work. So if you've done all of that and replaced those little angle brackets, that should be the code that works. All the code is doing is it's using these little degrees. So front is 90 degrees, a little bit to the left is 30 degrees, 150 degrees, 135 degrees, and 45 degrees. And at the very start, the first thing it does is it waits 20 seconds. So absolutely nothing happens for 20 seconds. And that allows you to take the back of the head off, press a button, and allow the thing to come alive. And then after that, it will then move a bit to the left. It will then wait a second, and then it moves it back to the front. Then it waits another second and moves to the left and then moves to the right. So that's how the actual code drives pin 9, and in driving pin 9, that drives the servo and makes the head move. Now, how do we get this? So this is like a notepad, where you might open Notepad, you would type text in. It's called an IDE. So you need to get that from the Arduino site. You'll see here up here it's saying Arduino 1.8.19. Now, if you go to the Arduino site, which is simply www.arduino.cc, and you click on the link software, you'll be taken to this page. Now, the latest Arduino is IDE 2.0.3. But I'm still using one of the older versions because I'm more familiar with that. So if you scroll down, it'll say here, Legacy Arduino IDE 1.8.19. You click on that and you download that, and that allows you to use the software. So if I go back to here, so that means when you first open, you do a file and new, this is what you will get as a brand new file. It automatically puts in this void setup and this void loop. You simply just copy what I have and do edit and paste the whole code in that I have, and that will provide you with this. Now, I've also done a little bit of enhancement on the actual code where the Nano actually comes with a little onboard LED. And so I've added this little piece of code here below the attached 9. This is the piece that will talk to pin 9. This here bit saying pin mode, LED built in, output. And that means I can actually add a piece in to the actual code, which I've added this piece here, blink, which is digital write, LED built in high, then waits half a second, then digital write low. So that turns the LED on and turns the LED off. So actually, if you add this piece in, you can see where you are within the actual code. So it'll blink once, it'll then wait 20 seconds, and then it will blink twice, where I've added in this other piece of code. And that's literally just copying and pasting this in twice. So it does wait a half a second, wait a half a second, wait a half a second. So that's putting it on, off, and that allows the thing to blink twice. I've then added this again and a bit lower down. where it blinks 3 times. And then at the very end, I've added a blink 4 times. And that allows you to see, is the actual code actually running? Is it working? What's happening? Why is it not moving the servo? Why is it not turning? So you can see if the light is actually blinking, it is actually running through this bit of code, and it's running this blink 4 times. So how do we get an Arduino? Again, if we go to the Arduino site, here, and you can actually then buy your actual Arduino Nano. I don't know why it's showing euros in this case, but however, it's showing, if you go to the Arduino site.cc, there you can buy the Arduino. You need to be very careful because there are clone copies out there. And if you buy one of the clone copies using this C340, you may find that when you try to connect it to your laptop, it doesn't recognize it. So please make sure you use the 232 chip, which is the standard Nano. So if you buy it from the Nano site, you can be sure that you're getting the proper R232 chip. Yes, you might be able to get it cheaper on eBay, but if it has that CH340 chip, you may find it does not actually work as well as the 320. So please make sure you buy the proper 320 and you should be okay. All you then, as I say to you, is you can copy mine, paste it into there, and that will then run the code, and that will then drive pin 9 on the servo, and that's all there really is to it. I might put a video up of simple programming on Arduino Nano from start, so I can show you how to connect the Nano, etc. So I'll do that maybe at a later stage. Thanks.